Yeah, hi, I'm Jakey and I'm the singer from CYHRA. We just rehearsed some new songs out there on stage, and for the very first time. It was a weird feeling, but it also felt really well. So really looking forward for tonight's show. In other interviews I've said that we realized pretty early on when we toured with the first album, because we got pretty big shows more or less directly on the first album, which is not that common, because usually you do a couple of shows on the first album and then you do another one and you grow exponentially. But I think we did like 70 shows on the first album, something like that, and then we're forced to play all the songs because we need to fill up the time. But some of these songs on the first album fits better listening to listen to them in the gym or in the car, or you know, in your headphones, and they're a little bit, as you said, party poopers when you play them live. So on this new album, I try to focus on writing songs that would work live. So I'd say that all of the songs on this album we could throw in the live set with no problem, and the audience would like it, I think. It's going to be so nice to throw in some, you know, fresh material in there. And it's also going to be really interesting to see what the fans thinks about them. Yeah. Because like for today, they've only heard one song, The Out of My Life, that we just released as a single. And today we're going to play a couple of more songs from the album that they've never heard. So they're just going to stand there listening, and you know, you don't know how the reaction is going to be. So that's going to be interesting. I guess that the audience are also aware of that it's the first time for them as it's the first time for us. So I mean, like, it's a little bit of give and take, I think. If we do anything wrong, they don't know if it's wrong. That's the good thing, though, because they haven't heard the songs yet. So they can't really tell if we're doing mistakes. Maybe that's the way the songs are meant to be. As long as we just continue to play them that way for from this moment on. Today we're trying out a couple of songs that we think will fit good into the live set. When we're touring with Battle Beast later on, which is actually, the Battle Beast tour starts the same day as the album is released, the 15th of November. We only have like 45 minutes because we are the opening act. So we are going to try to even it out so that we play the songs that everyone likes on the first album, and you know, the obvious choices from this one. And then as the year will progress, you know, we'll probably change a little bit here and there. But you know how it is when you play, when you go watch Iron Maiden and they just released a new album. You never want to hear the new songs, you only want to hear the old songs. For us, that is a brand new band, it's a little bit different, because like we are trying to expand our fan base and, you know, get new fans. So for them, even the old songs are the new songs, if you understand what I mean. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I guess that these songs on this album is a little bit more easy to take on to you after you listen to it the first time. I think that the first album was a little bit more complex. Yeah. Yeah, we just have to wait and see. I hope that it will be easier for people to take on to. Yeah, it's one of the songs where Jesper is really shining through on this album. You know, you hear this old In Flames-ish kind of acoustic guitars, and it's going to be an amazing intro to play on the shows. We're actually going to cut that part out in the beginning of that song and play that as the first thing that people are going to hear. So that's going to be nice. I love that. I love that thing. It's a little bit. It's pretty straightforward. It's a fast song. The verses are really, really short. The choruses are short, and it's more based upon the instrumental parts more than the vocals. And it's a great song, I think. I actually said to the guys when we were writing the lyrics in the studio that we can't use Blood Brothers because Maiden used that. I used it as a metaphor in the Karma song, and the other guy said just, don't care about that, because the song in whole is about us as a band, and you know how we feel, you know, to play together, because like it's a brotherhood. We love each other, and I've never been in a band where we're so tight together. So you know, we're brothers from other mothers. We didn't write the lyrics collaboratively. I wrote 99% of them, but on this album, I invited especially Alex to, look over it and come up with specific words, or change the different meaning of something, or if he has like Blood Brothers was one of those songs where like, yeah, but we can write about this subject, and he had some really great input on stuff. So but usually when it comes to lyrics, I want to do that myself, because I'm the one that's going to sing it, if you understand what I mean. But everyone had their opinions, and we changed stuff and so on, but it was more down to the small parts on changing words and different sentences and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that if you read through the lyrics on this one, it's about a lot of dark things, but the end message is to try to tell yourself that there's hope on the other end. Further on, you just need to fight to break out of those chains, so to say. The first album was more or less only based on how Jesper has been feeling throughout the years, and that's why the album is called Letters to Myself, because it's something like I interviewed him a lot, how he felt, what he's been going through, and tried to get his feelings down into lyrics. And on this album, I was focusing more on myself and my own feelings and what I feel, and also a little bit of this things that Jesper brought in from the first album that I couldn't, I didn't have space to fill it out with on the first one. So it's a little bit of a continuation, but then it takes off into another direction. The weirdest thing is that before I wrote the first album, like lyric-wise, I did that for myself and for Jesper, but then I realized all those emails that came in, all those messages on Messenger and Instagram, and where people actually tells me that I was suicidal or whatever, and this album helped me through it, and that is magic when you actually see that you can do some change with something that you're writing on a guitar. And I think that's I get goosebumps when I'm thinking about it, that something that I'm doing in my studio can change people's life. I think that is very impressive, and I'm grateful that people are telling me about it. But I would never do this. I would never try to write something to have that happen, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah,
I write for me, but if people can relate to my lyrics or our lyrics, then I'm very happy for that. And that's what I'm trying to do with the lyrics. I try to write them in a way so that it could be interpreted and taken to you personally for the one listening to them. I think now it was 6 days ago since it was released, and it was already up to 25,000 views today. So I think that's really successful. And the video itself was so fun to record or shoot, and it was something that I've always wanted to do, like add some dialogues into to things and so on, and putting those clothes on so that you're all of a sudden Jason Statham, I've recently started with acting, so like I think that it's a great way for me to also present my acting in music videos instead of just standing performing in front of a white wall. So I've recently started. I've had one movie done, which is going to be released this year, and I had some other projects coming along as well. So it's really interesting. It's a brand new world that I know nothing about. I wouldn't say that I am an action movie kind of guy in that sense. I like comedies and I like action movies. I like drama and stuff like that. But for me, movies, I've always watched a lot of movies. But for me, watching a movie is a place to relax. My wife, she is into horror movies, and I can't stand horror movies. I don't get anything out of it, and she's the same with action movies. So it's pretty weird. But when I watch a movie, I want to be able to just disconnect the brain a little bit, and that's what, you know, stuff like that is good for, I guess. This time it was Patrick that edited the video, that added it in the end, because I think that he wants to do a sequel. So right now I can't say anything, so we need to come up with something for it. Maybe we jump a couple of songs until we do a continuation. I don't know. The script for this video was made in this way because we had no time to make the video happen where all of us were at the same location at the same time. So that's why it turned out the way it was. It was not that I wanted to be the only one. It was just because of, you know, financial and location-based problems. You know, we live in 4 different countries, so.
Yeah, I think someone wrote a remark on the video that you always get kind of in these kidnapping situations.
Yeah, I know, but I always break out. I always win. There's a couple of songs that are touching the subject of religion, and I think, you know, I'm an atheist myself. I'm not trying to push anyone else to believe something different, but I think that there is so much things in religion where religion itself, and I'm not saying it doesn't matter what kind of religion it is, it's obvious that those religions are trying to force people into behave in a specific way, and then they write books about it, but they don't follow what they write. They say that, yeah, but that was 2,000 years ago, so now we changed it into this instead. And for me, that doesn't make sense. For me, it is like, okay, if you're religious, if you're following a book, and this is the way it is, well, then you can't change that along the way, because that means that in 1,000 years, people are going to worship Jake E, if you understand what I mean. Because things are changing along the way. And I think that's wrong. So I put that subject up, and no halos in hell can be interpreted in so many ways. One of the funniest way that I usually say is that, you know, if you've been good all your life, you can't come partying with us. I want people to find those small things themselves, because I like to twist words, I like to twist meanings, and, you know, sometimes when you read the lyric and you're like, what does he mean? And like, then, I want the, you know, that thing, the cartoon light ball, come up over your head. It's Gustavo Saches that has been doing the first album cover as well, and he's such a phenomenal artist. He is, you know, when I got it at first, I asked him, can I have the layered version of it? Because like, you're used to have artists putting things in layers in Photoshop, right? And he's like, are you fucking stupid? And what do you mean? I draw the thing, so it's hand drawn. And you know, it's very impressive. I like this this way where he added red into it as well. As you can see, we're following a concept here. We want to make this skeleton kind of guy to become our mascot, our Eddie in the future. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see what he or she is up to on the next album.
Does he or she have a name yet?
No, we don't have that yet, but I guess that in the future we have to name this it. Whatever it is. We don't even know if it's a girl, if it's a he or a she. I took Iron Maiden as you know, comparison, just because like you want to have something that is like going through all the albums, something that can recognize that this must be a CYHRA album. We've been, and I've always been really happy with Universal and Spinefarm, but I think I did 8 or 9 albums with them, and then this opportunity came up that we could actually switch label to Nuclear Blast, and all the honor to Spinefarm, but Nuclear Blast is the biggest metal label in the world. So we thought that this might be the great, or the good progression for us to, you know, move on and to you know, go up on the next step on the ladder, so to say. So I'm really happy that they liked the album and that they wanted to sign it. We're a very energetic band, even though we're really old. But we always try to make the shows humoristic. We try to, you know, give that little bit extra from ourselves, and you know, we are really serious in, you know, being perfectionists on stage, but we also don't want to show that and you know, to the audience. We want to make the audience believe that, you know, we're a party band that is just having fun on stage, even though we're putting all our effort into, you know, play the right fucking note on the guitar. But you know, we're trying to have the audience interact with us on stage. You know, sometimes and not rehearsing it. You know, we always try to make up things along the way. And that is actually really, really funny. So going to a CYHRA show is always something extra. We never do things the same thing on Monday as we did on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
that's fun.
there's always something new happening. Please come out and see us on tour. Now we're playing Finland. I don't know when this is released, but we're going out with Battle Beast, our Finnish friends, and if you're anywhere around Europe in November, December, please come check us out and check out their new album. It's awesome.